Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. It's the fourth and short segment. NFL week 12. A lot going on this past week with the NFL in week 12 from Thanksgiving Day this past Thursday on to last night where the Eagles beat up on the Packers. And it looks like this is going to be it for your man Aaron Rodgers, maybe. Who knows? But maybe, possibly. But Jordan Love got a chance to play. But, hey, their game is not on our list today. Let's go. If you're looking at our screen here, we'll start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visited the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns won that game 23-17. We thought the Buccaneers, well, I thought at least the Buccaneers would be back on track after last week's win in against Seattle in Germany. Tom Brady was 29-43, 2 TDs. The Browns, though, I got to give credit to the Browns. That's my old man's team. That's my dad's team. Browns ran the ball yesterday. Shocking.
Yes, and your boy D won the fantasy for this week because of Nick Chubb. Let's go. Not Higbee, Kev. Your boy, I'm dropping him. But yeah, Nick Chubb, baby. Nick Chubb.
Yeah, go ahead and chime in on the Browns in Tampa Bay. Go ahead, dog.
Jacoby Brissett's a good quarterback. Maybe not a great one. They have I would say when they play, a better than average defense, at least on the front, right? So you got Garrett and Clowney, right? And then on offense, you have two great running backs. You have Kareem and you have Nick Chubb, right? If you don't turn the ball over, and then you got I think he's a superstar in the making. In the Njoku, the tight end, he's nice, and I also believe that buddy that they left, who he broke dude's ankles like they were playing basketball.
Oh, yes.
That touchdown, right? So, dude that left Dallas, Cooper, right? So, they got a good team on paper, man. And they're kind of rounded into shape, as weird as it sounds, because who knows what happens with Pittsburgh and the Ravens. So, I think they can smell something. And they said, listen, man, let's just try to go for what we got. You know, and I think they're going to go for it with the team that they have. And they were better than the Bucs yesterday, right? Your boy, Tom Brady, missed a lot of throws, right? And they can't get open right now.
Nope.
They just can't. And they're not running the ball. So
nope.
I'm not necessarily sure where they're going. It's unfortunate. And I think it looks a little worse than it is because Tom wears his emotions on his face. So like when you look at him, I was like, wow, boy, you know, like you look. It was I think Dave Chappelle had a old routine where she turned her face and she looked pretty, and then she turned again and she was ugly. And I'm like, damn, man, what the wrong with you? So I'm looking at Tom Brady, what the fuck, dog? Like you look crazy, like a skeleton, you know. So, yeah, I think they're out of it, and I think the Browns are not a bad team. Now, I don't expect my boy to come back next year, next weekend, you know, become Superman. But
was that Watson? You talking about Watson?
Yeah. But you know what he can do? He can do what Jalen Hurts can do. When things get bad, he can run.
Yeah.
So, and that the NFL is changing, y'all. I don't know if people want to admit to it, but it is changing. It is changing. So, you know, just know if you can't run, you probably not going to be able to play in this league.
Yep. E, go ahead. Take it away.
Just to piggyback off of what DA said, I agree 1,000%. Brady is starting to look like his age. I mean, you cannot expect a guy 40 plus years of age to throw 43 times every week. Yes, they missed Fournette. Your man, I mean, he only ran 14 times, 64 yards, and Rashad White. But Brady, 29-43, 246, 2 touchdowns. He didn't turn the ball over, but like DA said, he did miss. I could at least counted 4 or 5 passes that he clearly missed that wasn't in GOAT we trust like.
Not indicative.
And these receivers, man, Godwin had 12 catches for $110, one touchdown. They don't get no separation, dog. He's like the only one. Like Mike Evans is he's reduced to like a possession receiver now. Julio is not Julio. Let's just be clear. You know what I'm saying? And Cameron Brate, yeah, it sounded good when they first got him, but again, you don't get no separation. The defense nowadays, if you look at it, speed, and speed. You react and you fly to the ball and you hit. There's not going to be, if you 29, 30, 31 years of age, like some of these receivers, if you don't have no real breakaway speed, you're not going to get away. And you're going to have a quarterback that's going to throw it to you in tight quarters, and there's going to be no run after the catch.
No, just catching it full.
Over to the Cleveland side, Cleveland did exactly what they were supposed to do. They did not Brown this week. They ran the ball.
Ran the ball.
And, even though Watson is clearly the quarterback going forward for this team, I think Brissett auditioned these first 10 weeks very, very well. Even though the record may not show it, if you looked at his play, definitely he should be at least starting somewhere in some capacity, or at least challenging somebody.
We'll definitely talk about that end of the season, beginning next year, because he's not worse than 32 quarterbacks starting right now.
Oh no, for sure,
right,
for sure.
Right. I just ended on this note. As bad as Tampa Bay looked, they are still top of the NFC South. Like, I don't.
I'm gonna say that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Nah, if they somehow limp into these playoffs, because it seems like everybody in the NFC South is playing hot potato. Nah, I don't want it. It's like none of them is gonna. It's gonna be sad to see Tom Brady in this first round in this wild card game getting demolished by one of these young Buck teams in the NFC. Go ahead, Kev.
I was going to say, before we go to the next game, which also has a significance to the NFC South, the nobody's in the NFC South is above 500, unfortunately. I believe Tampa Bay is 5-6. The Falcons are 5-7, and they lost yesterday to the Commanders, and that'll be our next game we'll talk about. Like you said, it's a hot potato. Nobody wants to. The Panthers are a game and a half behind. That says a lot, right? The Panthers beat Russell Wilson's Denver Broncos, and that's a whole nother.
Don't even mention his name no more, because it's clearly not his team anymore. Between him and that coach. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. That thing is not on my list. Let me go to, like I said, next game. Atlanta Falcons visited the Washington Commanders in the nation's capital. The Commanders win the game 19-13. The Commanders are currently now 7-5. The Falcons are 5-7. Excuse me. The Commanders. Hey, the NFC East is back to being the NFC East, huh? Everybody's above 500. Everybody's playing well in the NFC East. Let me give you a couple of stats from this game. Hey, Heineke was 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 TDs, threw 1 pick. Brian Robinson, he rushed for 18 times for 105 yards. They ran the ball. Let me just give you a little bit of geography history. Not geography, a little geography. Hey, in the Northeast, it snows, it rains, there's all types of foul weather around middle of November and all that stuff. So can't throw the ball. What you got to do, fellas, you got to run the ball sometimes.
About 170 yards as a team.
As a team. Yeah. And Heineke did, as we on this show always say, hey, you don't need to be throwing the ball 40 times. 20 sometimes, it kind of works.
Pretty simple, man. I'm not really.
It's not rocket science. It's not physics. It's not quantum leap. It's
and it's right up Riverboat Ron's. That's his quota. You run the ball, play good defense behind it, man. Don't turn the ball over. Yo, man, there's no hidden recipe. You ain't got to go ask Alexa or Siri how you do this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's right there. It's been there for 60, 70 plus years.
Alexa.
It ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
well, you know
ain't
what?
gotta
People
ask.
got to stop listening to dudes on TV that ain't play.
Oh,
Well, except for us, you can listen to us all day.
yeah,
Bring
like,
that
click, and
real.
subscribe. Yeah.
We're not going to do that because, like I say, man, we got to do something. You don't need running backs. Defense don't matter. Listen, man, ain't no Super Bowl team ever win a Super Bowl that didn't have a running back or a defense. Period. End story. End of story. In the history of this game. Listen, they're playing good defense. They got a great defensive line. And that's without my man from Ohio State that was sick. He didn't play on this weekend, but Allen played well. What's my boy name? Allen played well. Sweat did his thing.
Payne.
Payne did his thing. So I mean, they got it, man, on that end. McLaurin had 48 yards. Bates had a touchdown. Robinson had a touchdown. They are and who's becoming a young superstar, because remember, dude got shot in a robbery this season. So he's a robot. He is now Adrian Peterson to me, because I don't understand it. Like, he got shot, and now he's doing this thing. Right? So, and Taylor Heineke, man, like, this is like one of those, again, one of these simple things that happen in the NFL, man, like, and I don't seem to understand. And I understand there's a money part of this, right? So you're paying a lot of money for a dude, right? So, he's got to play. No, you just take that L. You take the L and you put the best player in the game, right? So I think Taylor Heineke is going to play the rest of the season. I think Mike White's going to play the rest of the season.
We'll get to that next.
I don't care about the money. It's about who's better.
Oh, but it's not your money.
It's not my money. But why am I going to play someone that's not the best player?
This is true. This is
right. If you're trying to win, it's what you're trying to do.
If you're trying to win, right?
Yeah.
That's if you're trying to win, yes, I would absolutely say you need to play the person that's going to win. And to Carson Wentz. Carson who? No. Nope. He's standing tall, and
we're not having this conversation because it turns into a totally, for me at least, it turns into a totally off the rails, not understanding, what the why, the race card I throw into it. Because I'm like, dude, we're talking about a bunch of quarterbacks over the last 6 to 7 years that have gotten paid that can't play, right? So you got your Carson, you got your Goffs, you got your Rosens, you got dudes that got a lot of money. And I'm not saying can't play disrespectfully as a NFL player, because all you guys are great athletes because you're there. I'm just saying at the spot that they paid you to play, you can't do that. And there are dudes that are sitting there that can't get a check. That can't.
The pay does not equal the production.
Indeed. And we're getting a lot of it. So you got Zach Wilson, and I'm glad we'll see, because if you are in your right mind, his rookie contract goes to the full 5 years, and he has to prove that he can play before he gets another check. But I'm not extending him or giving them no money now. Right? Like they did Jared Goff, like they did Carson Wentz in the middle of their rookie contracts.
Right.
This is why they're standing at the ATM.
Yep. And that's why I'm not an owner, because I would pull the plug on that ATM and they would just be standing there with a card trying to. Yeah. Anyway, not my money though. Let me shut up.
Let's move on to the next game. Just to go back to that game here, the Commanders are well in contention, for a playoff spot. NFC East look like it's bunching up there. Definitely
They're going to get all three.
Yeah.
NFC, I told you, brother, NFC East is going to get all three spots. They're going to get probably both wild cards.
Yeah, you're talking about the East, correct?
Yeah. So the Niners, because of their record, they got to win out, or else they don't make it. That's what it turns into.
Well, I think your team, the Niners, they shut out the Saints yesterday.
Yeah, but they got to win out. They got to win the division to go.
Yeah, they have to win the division. Yes, and I think they're well on their way to win the division.
Well,
ain't nobody. I mean, Seattle is basically the only team that's challenging them.
Yeah,
and Seattle caught an L yesterday. I mean, it was a well played game.
Yeah,
to some degree. But yeah. Anyway,
before we go to the Seattle game, let me go to My man Mike Mills. Mike Mills ain't with us this morning. He's
Yeah, we know why.
No, no, that is not why.
We know what. No, I would say, hey, Mike Millie, you know I love you, Primo, but you know you volunteered to go to work today, so you don't have to talk about this debacle.
The Jacksonville Jaguars defeated the Baltimore Ravens down in Jacksonville and Duval County, 28-27. Man, this is a very intriguing game. When I was watching it on the Red Zone, the Jaguars didn't give up. The last drive by quarterback. I can't think about that.
Man.
Trevor. What's the boy? Trevor Lawrence. Yo, man, he did his thing, man. Lawrence, real quick. Lawrence was 29-37, 3 TDs. And that last drive, they really showed their thing. And yo, shout out to Peterson, man. Peterson said, "Yo, what do we got to lose? We 4-7. Let's go."
Love that call.
Let's go.
AFC South, watch out. They will probably win that division next year. They got the roster, they got the coach, they got the players, and they're getting more, right? And the game is slowing down for Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
It's not that he can play. He can play now.
For sure.
And I like the fact that no one has anointed him to be something before something has happened, like the dude in LA.
Well, I think that's a tribute to where he's playing at, Jacksonville, a real small market team. And yeah, I think and I hate that. I hate that they do anoint people before it's time. And instead of just saying, yo, let the guy play, let him take his lumps and his bumps. And then you can say whatever when he starts playing well. Don't understand that. What you got in this game? Let me go back to my thoughts on this game. And Baltimore, the Ravens. Yo, man. Yo, I don't know what's going on, man. Y'all had to find a way to win this game, and y'all defense, in the words of Mike Mills, played like ass trash, as he would say, and I don't understand it. Go ahead, E. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good, man. This was, even though Jacksonville is a very competitive team, they kind of remind me of Detroit. But I'm gonna just say this, man.
You see this guy? I don't know. Y'all see my screen here.
Yeah, I see. I wouldn't even want to say anything about that comment. I don't even know why you put it up on the screen. But anyway, D-Dub, what's up, baby? Yo, man. This was a game that the Ravens had to win. This was a bad loss, in my opinion. Yes, Jacksonville's not your average 4-17. This and that, the third, but this was a game where the Ravens, they had to win. You got Cleveland starting to play better. Not that they're not going to challenge for a playoff spot, but they're going to be playing spoiler. You got the Bengals all of a sudden rolling in the right direction. And you still got the Steelers that's going to play spoiler, who seems to be turning the corner a little bit. So, bad loss for the Ravens. I don't know what Jackson. This is one of the games where I could hear the naysayers saying, "Oh, Jackson ain't got nobody to throw the ball to." This and that, the third. Yo, man, he got 2.5 tight ends and 1.5 of a receiver. Okay, this team is built to run. Okay. Lamar ran 14 times, 89 yards. Gus Edwards 16 times, 52 yards. Didn't do a whole lot of running. They ran the ball, but they didn't have those breakaways. Jacksonville defense was pumped up. And man, hats off to Jacksonville, man. That was more I could say, man. They had no run game.
None.
No run game.
Etienne wasn't running all that well. And
Michael Hasty had 12 carries for 28 yards. So Baltimore did their job defensively. That back end is suspect. And not to take away from Trevor Lawrence, but this Baltimore team should not be getting destroyed for 321 yards and 3 touchdowns by Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense. Again, no disrespect, because they're on their way. But if you're Baltimore, you should not have lost this game in this fashion, in my opinion, of course.
Brother, yes, I think Ashton Jackson be pressing a little bit too much. Early downs.
Yeah.
Certain passes he has to make. Now he does some incredible stuff on the field.
Absolutely.
But dog, I just need that regular joint, right? So we get it. 4-minute offense. We're up. Hold the ball. We win, right? So if it's 3rd and something, you up, man. Listen, you got to take that and go, and then slide. Get your first down, slide. Let's just run it out. I don't know. They don't let him do it, and he doesn't do it. So that's weird to me. So very weird.
Hey,
Yeah, Lamar Jackson has been. I'm sorry, Kev. I'm just saying
no,
this.
go ahead.
Lamar Jackson is playing like how we talk about in baseball, where the shortstop makes the phenomenal plays. The Derek Jeter's jump, hop, and throw to first base. This and that, the third, but the regular routine play, doesn't do it consistent.
DA's got a point about that. Yeah, we need some third and 3. Hey, just run the ball and get it out of bounds, and go for there. But I don't know. The Ravens didn't make the playoffs last year, and they could be. What's the Ravens? They're 7-4, so they're tied with the Bengals. The Bengals tied them yesterday. Here come the Bengals. We'll talk about that game here in 1 second. But hey,
Baltimore allowed 18 points in that fourth quarter. Let that sink in, people.
Wow. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go to the Raiders and the Seahawks. That was a real game up there.
This was a very, very good game, man.
Yes, I might add. That was. Go ahead.
The Raiders, to me, seems like they finally put it together from front to back, start to finish.
Defense.
Shout out, the defense in spots. Yeah, you say, oh, what defense? They gave up 34 points. Oh, shut up.
But in spots,
man, it's in spots. They got it when they needed it. Turnovers when they needed it. So, man, shout out. I have to give a big shout out to the offense of the Raiders. Josh Jacobs, where have you been, sir? 33 carries. When was the last time we seen a running back carry the ball 33 times?
I was dumbfounded when I was watching that game. I was like, boy, they're just gonna keep feeding them the ball, and didn't matter. They couldn't. Seattle did not have an answer for Josh Jacobs at all. 33 times for 229 yards. No answer.
TDs, almost
0
yards a carry. Come on, man. Man, it was like this was like you hip hop heads out there. This was like that first Method Man joint. Man, we just gonna keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding. That's exactly what they did, man.
MATHOD, man.
Derek Carr, 25 of 36, 295, did throw 2 interceptions, but did throw 3 touchdowns. Man, Devontae Adams, 7 catches. Jacobs had 6 out of the backfield. Matt Collins, I don't even know who that guy was until yesterday, to be honest with you. 4 catches for a touchdown. Man, it was a total team effort, and it has to feel good to finally, even though it went into overtime. And I will say, Kevin, that catch by DK Metcalf that was ruled incomplete.
I thought that was dog.
Seattle really should have been in position to win this game, dog.
I thought that was what. That was definitely a catch. Yeah. Go ahead. It
is what it is, though, man. Shout out to and again, we have to all the Geno Smith naysayers, man. 27-37, 328, touchdown, one pick. Man, he had no running game. This man did it with the strength of his vision, his coaching, and his arm and his legs, B. And again, he put his team in position to win this game. Things didn't go their way. It is what it is. But Geno Smith is having a hell of a year. Go ahead, Kev.
I think he's definitely having a hell of a year, Geno Smith. And let's to piggyback to what you said about the Raiders. Shout out to all the Raiders fans that's listening. I got a couple of dudes that know that's Raiders fans. They be listening, man. We give you we give you your flowers while y'all still alive too. You know what I'm saying? And and deservedly so. If your team's not doing whatever, we absolutely will kill them too. But with that said, the Raiders, like you said, finally look like they're putting it together. Derek Carr, he's looking. I'm not saying no more comfortable, but it just looks like something was clicking yesterday, and I felt like they was never going to lose this game, even though they kept going back and forth, swaying back and forth. I felt that the Raiders were eventually going to win this game because I just think they wanted it more. And the Raiders are currently, if I'm looking at they're 4-7.
4-7.
I think they're one of the better 4-7 teams. With that said, DW said earlier, you're not talking about the Chargers. I said, that is a notable game. Other games and notes, yes, they beat the Cardinals yesterday, 25-24. I don't think the Cardinals. I don't think the Chargers.
Talk about the Cardinals.
I don't think the Chargers.
Arizona and win, but
the Chargers
win that game.
Chargers had no business winning that game because the Cardinals were up, and they had no business winning that game. So yes, we're not talking about that.
Shout out to the Chargers though for winning that game. But yeah.
The Jets got the right man. Yeah. Mike White played well yesterday for the Jets. Game is not on our list here, but let's go to our last game before we get on out of here. Our last game we'll talk about is the Titans. Excuse me, the Bengals defeated the Titans in Nashville 20-16. Down at what's that area called, E? Since you used to be down that way.
Oh, Cashville, you know what I'm saying? Down here, downtown Nashville.
Cashville.
Right between if I'm not mistaken, I-40 and I-24. Shout out to the 615 down there. Yeah, I should have won this game. But
beautiful city. Oh man. So let's get to that game. The bonehead play by the defensive guy that hit the center when they was kicking the field goal. He doesn't do that, man. I believe the Tennessee wins that game. And if you don't remember, if you guys are watching, you can't hit the center when the long snapper when he's snapping the ball. It's a penalty, and that happened, and that gave Cincinnati the opportunity to pretty much run the clock out, and that was it. And game over. Joe Burrow was 22 of 37, 27 yards, 1 TD. Samaje Perine was 17 carries for 58. And receiving, Joe Burrow has found other people like T. Higgins and Hayden Hurst.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? So he's doing it while his number one guy is out, nurse's injury. I think he should be back in the next couple of weeks. Your thoughts on this game and why the Bengals won and why the Titans lost?
Well, another reason why is the Bengals defense, the run defense. If you run Derrick Henry 17 times, normally you would think he would rush for close to 100 yards. But no, that was not the case. He only had 38 yards rushing, 2.2 yards on average. The Bengals was on him often, but I just feel like that the Titans feel like Tannehill can with it with his arm. And I'm sorry, I'm here to tell y'all when he had better receivers, he couldn't do it. So don't do it now. I know you couldn't run the ball, so you had to throw it. I understand that, but still at the same time, Tannehill, to me, he's better than some, but he still is out there missing some receivers where he's supposed to. Go ahead, Dia.
No, it's real quick, man. I think I'm not gonna say it's an experiment, right? Because Tannehill had some good seasons.
Correct.
We're gonna keep that right way set, right? So I think that Tennessee has to say, okay, look, Tannehill used to be a wide receiver. He can run. He's very athletic.
Right.
You have to use him running. He has to run the ball. Like he has to have design runs. He has to get out of the pocket and scramble and do these things. He does not do these things anymore. And I don't know if it's an injury or not, right? So if that's the case, then you got to put the young boy in, right? Because that's all the hell he knows how to do. He'll look at one read, 2 reads, I'm out.
Right.
1 read, 2 reads, I'm out. Why? You know why that works? Because it's another guy that the defense has to guard, right? And then first downs. right? If you're a good coach or a good coaching staff, they do it in college. And I know, man. You don't do it. It's too stubborn. The NFL is too stubborn to have two quarterbacks play. Play both. One when you need to run. I mean, they do it. They would. No one got on dude last year. What's his name? Peyton. But he would put in old boy down there, number 5, and Drew Brees or
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. Yeah, man, you do what you got to do, man. Right? Because if this guy's not going to run, and you need these yards, right, and your running back ain't getting it because they're crowding the line, then QB, you switch off and let him run.
We had it with Cordell Stewart, and you ran him off.
I didn't run him off. He retired. I like Cordell. You almost won a Super Bowl with Cordell. They were good every year with Cordell. Like they were not like out of the playoffs any year when Cordell was there. Now, they did have a super defense, like super.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like maybe next to the steel curtain. Like that was the next best defense that team had ever had. But the reality is, you gotta go what you can do what you gotta do, man. Right? If you want to win, this is what you're trying to do, and this is what I'm like. This is what is bugged out because these guys get paid money, coaches, so forth and so on. And like, how am I seeing this? And you got a rookie on the sideline that can run the ball as a quarterback, right? And can pass it, right? I'm not saying take out Tannehill for good. I'm saying you got to work the system out because you need these yards. You would like to win the game and not lose.
Yes, right.
That's all. I'm running back and forth between here and corporate America, so I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Real quick before we end, DA, what's your thoughts on the Raiders and they beating the Seattle yesterday, the Seahawks? You guys
Raiders ran the ball, man. I'm good to see my man from Alabama.
Yes,
he's been killing them all year, man.
Yes,
this is another case of coaches, ownership. Somebody saying we got a quarterback that we're paying. We have to justify his payments by having Carr throw the ball far more than he needs to throw the ball. Give it to that running back because he's really good. Why he have Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs, 33 of 229.
When he's going to be going. Right? Running backs don't have a long shelf life. So while you have one, use them. Let's not get caught up in that Carr is good and we paying him this much money. Now we got to throw the ball because he wasn't that good and you shouldn't have paid him all that money. I mean, that's just the market of quarterbacks per se. Wow. But the reality is, which is not bad. So get your money, Derek. I'm with you. It is the market, right? It's the market value for him. But the reality is that it's an inflated market value. It's like houses, right? Like, and I don't know why no one in the NFL says this. There are market values for players. Of course there are. But it's just like market values for houses, right? So your houses go up in the area for a minute, then they drop back down. Same thing for quarterbacks, man. Like the market value is not set in stone forever, right? So it went up high. And dudes gave Derek Carr that money, but maybe he wasn't worth all of that. I'm not saying he's bad because he's not. He's a good quarterback. He's better than average by far. But my thing is, just because you have them doesn't mean not use your running backs.
Right.
And that's what's been killing them all year. Like, listen, you got to keep the defense off the field, man. Let them work some rest, man. Give them dudes some rest. And they don't.
And that quarterback is one market that needs to crash because they've been giving out money to some of these dudes, and I'm just like, what the fuck, yo?
Wait, you saying the quarterback market is like Enron and what's his other?
It need to come down, man. Pay these guys this amount of money.
I agree.
You still got 52 other guys to pay. Like, why would you hinder yourself like that?
Well, we have been saying on this show that how long we've been doing this? Almost 4 years, right? 4 years plus, right? We've been saying this. If the quarterback takes all the money, Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to hear anything. And this is what teams like. And again, I don't say I'm a capitalist. I'm about getting your money. But in the NFL, it's a salary cap league. It's hard cap. So there's things that need to be done. So if quarterback takes, say, 33% of all the money, there's 51 other folks they got to pay. The math, as we say on this show, the math don't be mathing.
Don't be mathing.
So it don't be mathing. We lost DA, man. But pretty sure we'll get him back here. So with that said, yo, you got to pay. You got to find some way out. Other games of note during this Thanksgiving weekend, the
Please talk
Giants.
about this man's charges, please.
I'm about to get in real quick before I get out of here. The Cowboys defeated the Giants on Thanksgiving Day, 28-20.
He ain't hollering about that in the comments.
No, and he's a Giant fan, right? Like me. Yes, we lost to the Cowboys. Shout out to the Cowboys. Good win. Zeke is back. Did a good job.
The ball.
Ran the ball. Vikings defeated the Patriots. That was the night game. That was very good. 33-26. Hey, the Vikings are 9-2. Kirk
Good bounce
Cousins.
back game for
Yeah.
for Minnesota, man. Good bounce
Yeah.
back. They couldn't have lost that game, man.
No, absolutely. Like we said before, we aforementioned these Los Angeles Chargers beat the Arizona Cardinals 25-24. Cardinals really had no business losing this game. They should have actually won this game, but like E alluded to, he wished Sean Payton come save his franchise. E, real quick, would you get rid of the quarterback? Would you package him up and
No.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's not too many teams that's going to up and want to pay that contract for Kyler at this stage. I wouldn't have gave Kyler that package at this stage of his career. Not saying that he's trash, because he's not. Clearly, he's not.
Right.
However, this team is not built. It's to me, in my humble opinion, it's not built correctly. And I think Sean Payton, the offensive mastermind that he is, will come in and give him 2 years and give him the pieces that he need.
Right.
We'll be right.
True. Gotcha, man. Well, hey, this is going to end the fourth and short segment. Like I said, it is fourth. We try to do it 30 minutes. We're 37 minutes in, so we're going to end it.
Shout out to Robert Salah.
Shout out to the Jets. Jets doing their thing. Mike White, hey, he's kind of riding the ship, so I think they're going to rock with him. Hey, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator, Eric James, the angry one. During the DA Auburn, who just logged off, I don't know what happened. We'll see if DA's all right. Daryl D. Warren, Mike Mills, and Dan, our hockey duo. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Hey, we'll see y'all on Thursday. Peace.
Peace.